I'm Jess, and today I'm going to do some reviews for you. And first, before I start off, I want to point out to you the awesomeness of my bookshelf rainbow. I don't know if you can quite see it, and I have an urge to just move to this side because I do just like this red shelf. So I'm gonna move. And so here is the red shelf of my bookshelf rainbow. I'm going to bob down so you can see it. Look at that lovely bookshelf. So I'm going to stop being weird now and move back into my original space because I do like sitting here better. So I'm going to do 3 reviews for you today, and I'm going to show you which books I'm going to review for you. The only problem with reorganizing shelves is you never know what books are. So the first book I'm going to review is Hitchhikers Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. The second book I'm going to review is War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. I have the beautiful English Library edition of this book, and it's so pretty. And the last book is Down and Out in the Magic Kingdom, and I've forgotten who this is by, but I'll put the cover on the screen so the name will be on the cover. You will notice a trend in these books that they are all sci-fi books. That is because I am writing a 5,000 word essay on the science fiction classics, and so I needed to read a lot of material for this. That's why I wanted to do reviews of these, because I don't think I would have done reviews of them normally, because I did read these for a purpose. So the first book is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. I adored this book. I've shown this in my February wrap up, and I really enjoyed it. I think it got 4 out of 5 stars, and I just loved all the comedic little things that Douglas Adams has to say, and just all the little things that you find from Arthur Dent's point of view, like how I've forgotten the other guy's name, but he says, "Oh, well, we're safe," and Arthur's like, "I didn't think safe would mean my planet being exploded," and the guy's like, "Why do you care so much about your planet?" And he just cares that his planet's been destroyed. And I love Trillian. I think Trillian was my favorite character, and I heard she's played by Zooey Deschanel in the movie, which I'm looking forward to watching at some point, but I don't know if it'll ruin the book or not. It's like, I will not watch the Fahrenheit 451 movie because firstly, I love that book so much that I don't want it ruined, and secondly, it seems a bit against what Ray Bradbury wanted to make the book that was against television into a movie. That's just my opinion. It seems a bit ironic. And I just loved this book, and I loved all the little quirks that the characters have, and the mice and deep thought. And my second favorite character, I think Trillian and this character are on the same level, was Marvin, the depressed robot, because I just thought he was so funny. He was like, the doors go, "Ow," and you open them, and he was going, "Even the doors sound happy," and it was just so amazing, and I just loved it so much. So that's my review of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I'm hoping to get Restaurant at the End of the Universe at some point in these editions, because then they'll all match. So my next review is of War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells in the beautiful English Library edition. And I just finished this, and it's only really short, but it took me so long to read because you do have to push through it. This was written, I think, in the 1800s, so it really shows that it was written in the 1800s, and you have to respect that when you're reading it and push through it, I think, because it took me a while, but I pushed through it and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the story, but I had to keep reading the summaries of the chapters after I've read them on SparkNotes so that I was aware of what actually went on in the chapter, because otherwise I didn't really understand what had actually happened. But I did. The only thing I don't like about H.G. Wells' writing is that the narrator never seems to be an actual issue. Like, the narrator doesn't even have a name, the narrator's wife doesn't have a name, the narrator's brother doesn't have a name. It's all about the story rather than the characters, which is a good thing sometimes. But with this one, it did just make it partly it made it hard to read because you didn't get any emotional sense. It was very journalistic, as it says on the back. It says that it was written journalistically, and he's writing without any emotion. But then you think you would have some emotion in this situation, and it seems a bit unrealistic. Like, he has like random bursts where he cares about his wife, but then other times he's like, he doesn't care about his wife at all. This book surrounds around the Martian invasion of London, and the thing I loved most about this was when the narrator was wandering around London after the invasion, and he was just wandering around like the park and Hyde Park and stuff, and seeing all these dead bodies and stuff. It was just such a weird description of London, and it's something you don't really hear about, and obviously because that's not how London is now. And it was just really interesting to hear London from that perspective. And yeah, so this is War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. And the last one is Down and Out in the Magic Kingdom. I love this book. This surrounds a world where there's a cure for death, and how rich you are is based on a kind of Facebook-like profile where it will like analyze how people interact with you and how much they like you, and then you get a rating based on that, and that controls how much you can spend on things. And you can also deadhead, so that if the world is a bit disinteresting for a while, you can just sleep for a while and like get updates on the world every so often, so you know what's going on, so you know when you want to wake up. And so this surrounds a character who lives in the Magic Kingdom, and he ends up getting shot by someone who is up for some gain that he doesn't really understand yet until the end of the book. And he wakes up and he's like been restored from a backup, which was a few days ago. So he's lost a few days of his life. He doesn't remember what happened in those few days, but he still is aware that he lost 3 days, I think. And he's really annoyed that someone shot him, and he's annoyed that nobody wants to figure it out about who shot him. And he ends up like getting a disease or something, like where his network won't turn on and he can't function on like the internet and on this social networking site thing. So, and they say that they need to back him up, but a lot of things happened between now and his last backup, and he doesn't want to back up because he doesn't want to lose that period of time, because you are imminently different because of the time you've spent, and whether it's 2 days that you lose or years of your life, you're going to be different because of those days. And he doesn't understand why no one else understands this. The doctor just tells him that it's the only option, otherwise he's going to die. And the doctors aren't really doctors, they're more technicians. Like, the only option they really have when someone gets sick or shot or anything is to reboot them and create a clone and transport their consciousness into this clone. But really that's not the same thing as living, I guess. I think I'd be interested to hear other people's thoughts on that, but I don't think it's the same thing as living. Anyway, that was the free reviews I had for you today. I really, really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll check out these cool science fiction books that I have adored. I will see you next time in my next video. Goodbye!